going to be making key lime pie. Not just any key lime pie, I'm going to be using fresh key limes today, and I'll be using coconut cream instead of heavy whipping cream and monk fruit sweetener instead of sugar. I've tried to look up a couple different versions of this recipe, but I felt like none of them really was something that I was looking for, so I'm just going to go ahead and wing this. I'm so excited to see how it all comes together. Let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start off by prepping our key limes. And by doing this, we're just gonna zest each one of them as much as possible and then go ahead and start cutting them and juicing each little tiny key lime. Now, we're gonna start on the crust. So I'm using almond flour, cinnamon, salt, and I have this cute little graham cracker extract that I picked up on Amazon. I'll link it down below. And vanilla extract and powdered confectioner swerve. So we're gonna go ahead and mix all that together and then add our melted butter, and voila, we have a crust. We're gonna take this crumbly crust and put it right into a sprayed pie dish and just press it in nicely. Create a little crust, whatever design you'd like. I'm putting a crust protector around my pie crust as I par bake it and during the baking process in general because it will burn. While that's in the oven, par baking for about 10 minutes. And we're gonna go ahead and start on our filling. So for our filling, we're gonna put about 3 egg yolks in the filling. And I'm using coconut cream here, canned coconut cream, just the cream part, okay? You don't wanna use the liquid part of that can, just the cream. And I'm also putting some Swerve confectioner sweetener in there, some salt, vanilla, and a little bit of cornstarch. And I did end up using those egg whites as well. Not all of them, but I think 1 or 2 of them. So altogether it's 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. Now as this is blending, I'm slowly adding the key lime juice and key lime zest, and that is our filling, guys. Once our crust is par baked, we're going to go ahead and chill it in the freezer for about 10 minutes so it's nice and just cooled off. And then go ahead and just put your filling right in it, and you're going to bake that on 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes depending on how it looks when it comes out. Okay, and as long as there's no jiggle to your pie when you take it out, that is how you want it to look. This is my second pie crust that I just decided to make because I had some extra filling. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in as well and bake that one. This is my second pie, and it did get a little brown, so I went ahead and took off the edges and it turned out like this, which I'm very happy with. Go ahead and put saran wrap over the tops of your pies and chill them for at least 1 hour or overnight. Okay guys, so it is the next day. I allowed these to cool in the fridge overnight. So this was the original one I made. And I only have one of these pie plates and realized once I put the filling in that I had extra filling. And so I decided to make another pie crust and use this pie plate because that's the only one I had. This one is glass, and I did notice when I par baked this crust that the crust didn't get as dark as this one did in the par baking process. And I did cool them both before I added the filling. Now, with the filling for this one, this pie crust went all the way up to the edges when I first made it. The filling that I had left over only filled so much of the pie plate though. So when I took it out, I noticed that the edges were dark, like this one. And I just wanted to leave this one this way just to show you. I used a crust guard for my crust to make sure that the edges didn't get burned, and it still got burned because this is almond flour. So it burns very easily. This did get burned towards the end like this. When I mean burned, I mean dark like this. So I took those darker edges off, and it actually worked out because I still have a little bit of edge to it, and the pie filling is just where I need it to be with the edge of the crust. Okay, so I grabbed some plates and we're gonna cut into this and see how it turned out. We're gonna do this one first since this was the first one I actually made. See how it turns out. Oops. Ooh. Seems like the crust is holding up well. The filling is perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, let's get a piece out. Seems like you can just pick it right out. Perfect. Oh my gosh, look at that creaminess. OMG guys, I'm in love. So that'll be the first one. And then let's have a taste to see our results. Let's see that cut. Oh, it's soft, it's not too hard, the crust. Let's see the bottom of the crust. Let's see the bottom of the crust. It's actually nicely browned at the bottom. Has that golden brown. Ooh, oh my gosh, the flavor. Wow, that is a good key lime pie. Now we're gonna cut into this one. I'm just curious to see the baking process with the glass. If the filling baked differently, if the crust baked differently. Oh, I messed it up. Guys, this filling is very creamy, very creamy. So that's the pie. It held up nicely. It's not as deep as I would have thought it would be. It's not too deep. The edges are very thick though. Look at that. The outer edge is way too thick for a pie crust. But the bottom baked nicely. I almost feel like the bottom is not baked enough. Well, it is. It looks great. It really does. Let's taste it. Wow. Very refreshing, light, creamy. Oh, so good, guys. I can't believe this is made with powdered monk fruit and coconut cream. Guys, it tastes like the real thing. Very refreshing for summertime. Highly recommend you try this recipe, guys. So I will link the recipe down in the description. But until next time, guys, that's all for now.